Dragon Ball starts holding tight to thigh 18. Chapter 11. The group heaved slowly in the sky for 10 minutes. Finally found a car in this wilderness. It's still a small truck, just enough to tee the 16th. Otherwise, with the size of the 16th, ordinary cars cannot be installed. The owner of the car is shopping at a convenience store on the side. After some friendly exchanges, the owner nearly agreed to lend them the car and did not dare to ask for its return. As a thank you, number 16 was also very kind enough to help dump the goods on the car. The owner of the car was immediately moved to tears, and after they left, he was afraid that they would get lost in this wilderness, and help them call the police. It's really touching. After saying goodbye to the well-wishers, they begin a game to end Goku. Inside the car, number 17 sat in the driver's seat and drove, and number 18 held Mo Yuan and sat in their co-pilot. The 16th was too large to sit in the back compartment. Now that no one else bothered, the 17th Nally began to inquire about Mo Yuan's origin. "Hey, little ghost, tell me about your origins." "First, I'm not called Hey. My name is Mo Yuan." As soon as the words fell, Mo Yuan found out everyone was looking at him in surprise. Even the 17th who drove did not look at the road. "What's wrong? Any questions?" Mo Yuan is a little confused. "Isn't it just a name? What's the fuss about?" Of course there is a problem. So the artificial people have no name, only a number. Even Dr. Gro himself, after becoming an artificial human, gave himself the number of the number 20 of their artificial human. Number 18 looked at Mo Yuan strangely. "And you, however, are a serious name." Mo Yuan suddenly realized, "Oh, that's how it is. In fact, I chose my own name, probably because Dr. Gro felt that the success rate of making me was too low, so he didn't have time to give me a number." "The success rate is too low? I remember you said that you are not a robot, nor are you an artificial human modified by humans, so how exactly did you come about?" "I was bred by Dr. Gro using the cells of martial arts masters on Earth and the cells of their powerful people in the universe, so I am neither a robot nor an artificial human transformed by ordinary people." Mo Yuan told the three of them his origins. However, there is no comprehensive explanation, such as absorbing the 17th and 18th to become a complete body, or absorbing humans to enhance their own strength. This kind of thing Mo Yuan did not mention a word. "After all, I didn't think about absorbing humans, let alone absorbing them, and saying it was just to add trouble." "So you were also created to kill the Monkey King?" Mo Yuan nodded. "Yes." Having said that, Mo Yuan was not prepared to kill Sun Wukong in his heart. In addition to being unwilling, his own strength was too bad. How the combat effectiveness is calculated is not clear to him, but he could clearly sense that the chi in his body was only about 1/10 of the normal. Vegeta, this combat power can't be beaten by big, let alone kill Sun Wukong. That's just a lantern in the toilet, looking for. And now there is also a huge threat. Sharu. Sharu now doesn't know where to hide. In the original plot, Shalu came out at this time to eat people everywhere. And his ultimate goals are the 17th and 18th. Without absorbing number 17 and number 18, Shalu may not be so easy to evolve into a complete body. And Shalu, without evolution, is not afraid at all. According to the original plot, in addition to guarding against Sharu, you must also guard against Vegeta. After all, in the original work, it was because of Vegeta that the 18th would be absorbed by Shalu. He even performed a touching scene of father's kindness and leal piety with Trunks. The now result is also very gratifying. Vegeta once again turned into a speedy Saiyan. Mo Yuan couldn't figure it out. How did this guy Vegeta get punched in the face every time he gets stronger? It can be said that Vegeta's life has been all about waves. Waves out of self, waves out of strength. Becoming stronger is really getting stronger, but after becoming stronger, the beating you should be hit is also not falling at all. On the point of pretending not to be forced to be the sun, Mo Yuan is willing to call Vegeta their strongest. However, although Vegeta was slapped in the face every time, Mo Yuan also knew very well that in a few days, Vegeta would become stronger again, and by that time, number 17 and number 18 would not be able to beat him. Even the mature Sharu can't beat it. So Mo Yuan made up his mind that he must become stronger, because as long as Shalu is still there, he will definitely not be able to hide, and Shalu will not be able to let go of the 17th and 18th. Even if Shalu is eliminated now, Vegeta will come to them for trouble. After all, Vegeta lost face on them and will definitely get it back. And time is short, and Vegeta will be here in a few days. Thinking of this, Mo Yuan couldn't help but frown. Now there is only one place where you can quickly improve your strength. What are you thinking? At this moment, a warm and soft hand gently smoothed Mo Yuan's brows, but there was a trace of concern in his tone. Mo Yuan shook his head and said, "It's nothing." It's not that Mo Yuan doesn't want to talk to them, it's just that he doesn't know how to explain it. "Can't you just tell them that I will come to absorb you in the future time and space, right? By the way, sister, I remember you said that you were transformed from human beings by Drive Grow, right?" Mo Yuan quickly changed the topic. "Do you remember your old name?" The previous name. Hearing Mo Yuan's question, hatred dashed in 18's eyes, and then turned into a thick sadness. She remembered a few years ago. Originally, she and number 17 were residents of a village on the outskirts of Bedu. Everything has changed since that day. On that day, Dr. Grow broke into their village with several androids. In the face of powerful artificial humans, their rearms do not serve any purpose at all. In the case of powerlessness, it can only be slaughtered. In just half an hour, they were all arrested by Dr. Grow, and none of them escaped. Then they lived like hell. Dr. Grow began conducting brutal human experiments. The two of them, number 17 and number 18, watched their relatives and friends being brutally murdered. One by one, seeing his parents kneeling in front of Dr. Grow, he expressed his willingness to cooperate with Dr. Grow in the experiment, only asking Dr. Grow to spare the two of them. But Dr. Grow didn't need their cooperation. Two artificial humans knocked their parents unconscious and dragged them away. They haven't seen their parents since. They are well aware. Failed specimens are disposed of by Dr. Grow. Even the slag will not remain. Hatred has been hidden in the heart for a long time, and it will not gradually disappear, but will only become stronger. One of the most wrong things Dr. Grow did was to focus their function on strengthening strength, resulting in weak control. 17 and 18, who retain their past memories, after being transformed into human beings to gain powerful abilities, what they want to do most is not to complete Dr. Grow's mission and kill Monkey King. Instead, kill Dr. Grow, who persecuted their family. Mo Yuan suddenly felt that the atmosphere in the car became very depressed, and he somewhat regretted asking this question. Obviously, his question reminded the 17th and 18th of some bad memories. For a moment, there was silence in the car. After a while, number 18 sighed, his face gradually softened, and he seemed to have let go of something, like a sense of relief. My name is Lazily. Hearing number 18's words, number 17's hand that squeezed the steering wheel relaxed a little. Laid down. Fortunately, it's really time to let go. My name is Lapis. 16, who was sitting in the back, had a kind smile on his face. Chapter 12. Saying his name also means that the 17th and 18th have completely put aside their past. From now on, there will be no more Cyborg 17 and Cyborg 18. There are only twin siblings, sister Lazily and younger brother Lapis. Although they let go, it does not mean that they do not plan to end Sun Wukong. Dr. Grow transforms them into humans in order to kill the Monkey King. So they still have some resentment against Sun Wukong. Even if you don't kill Sun Wukong, you must at least beat him up. That's what Lazily and Lapis thought in their hearts. And at the same time that they drove slowly to Sun Wukong's house, Clin and Trunks went to Monkey King's house. Pick up the sick Monkey King and Kiki and prepare to send them to the Turtle Immortals. Prevent the sick Monkey King from being killed by artificial humans. The Monkey King is like a reassuring agent for all of them. As long as the Monkey King is alive, they feel full of hope. Even Bulma in future time and space thinks the same. After all, compared to Vegeta, Monkey King is too reliable. On the plane, Clin called Bulma to tell him about what happened today. But in Bulmana, he learned that someone in the western suburbs had found an abandoned time machine. Seeing the photo that Bulma had faxed over, Trunks was shocked. The weed-covered machine in the photo is nothing else, it's the time machine he rides in. But his own time machine is obviously shrunk in the capsule, still on himself. And it is absolutely impossible to make two time machines in the future space-time, under their wanton destruction of artificial humans. Just making a time machine is exhausting. But the time machine in the photo is obviously the time machine he rides. I will never admit my mistake. Trunkton felt that this time and space might be completely different from the history he knew. From the strength of artificial humans, to the emergence of artificial humans 16, and then to the emergence of artificial humans in underground laboratories. There are too many unknowns in this space-time. These variables, like heavy boulders, pressed against his chest, made him almost breathless. He decided to go over and see the machine for himself. After asking the exact location of the time machine, Trunks, Go and Bulma meet there. After about 10 minutes, they were in the western suburbs. Looking at the time machine in front of him, Trunks can basically determine that this machine is the one on him, because this time machine has his own writing Hope on it. Both the location and the handwriting are exactly the same as the time machine on his body. However, looking at the appearance of this machine, it was definitely abandoned for a long time to become like this. If there is only one time machine in the future space-time in which Trunks lives, then there is only one possibility for this time machine: other time and space. What about the self in other time and space? Trunks suddenly felt a chill behind him. And the hole in the top of the time machine is definitely not something he will make. This machine is the hope of their time and space, and he usually has to feel distressed for a long time even to scratch it, and it is absolutely impossible to destroy this machine. So, who is the person who came to this time and space on this machine? Android? Or is it someone else? The more he thought about it, the more frightened he became, and Trunks' body couldn't help but tremble. In order to confirm his conjecture, Trunks turned on the machine. Inside the machine were two purple hemispherical items. I don't know what they were. What is this? It doesn't look like a coconut shell. Goen looked at these two things a little puzzled. What is it? Show me. Bulma was curious too. Goen took these two things and handed them to Bulma. Look. Bulma whipped through the two things and examined them carefully. I see, this must be some kind of animal eggshell. Eggshells? But I've never seen such an eggshell. Gohan, who grew up in Bun Mountain, can be said to have seen the eggs of various strange animals. But only this kind of eggshell he had never seen. Suddenly, they seemed to think of something. They all looked at the broken hole above the time machine. There are some purple traces left on the edge of the cave opening. The color is the same as the color of this eggshell. Gohan's expression was solemn. By the way, maybe the one who punched that hole is some kind of creature born from this egg. Trunks quickly checked the machine to see if he could enter any useful information. The remaining energy is almost zero. The entire time machine is almost exhausted of energy and can barely display the time. After waiting for a while, the machine nullly showed the time. The year is 7, 8 or 8 years. 3 years slower than my future. How is that possible? Trunks looked at the time displayed on the machine in disbelief. This is his future 3 years after he left. If this is really the case, then his previous conjecture was correct. There really is a third time and space disorder. Trunks checked the time of the machine to this time and space again. Seeing the time displayed on the time machine, Trunks began to get a little scared. It's been about 4 years ago, and this guy arrived a year earlier than the last time I came. Who the hell is this guy? Why did he come here? Could it be that history has changed so much because of his ghosts? Moreover, for such a long time, he has not shown up. What is the reason? And what happened in the third space-time? What happened to myself in that time and space? 3 years after his own time and space, will the same thing happen to him? Fear comes from the unknown. It was like darkness shrouded in Trunks. Suddenly, Gohan noticed that there seemed to be something strange behind the stone not far away. What's wrong? Bulma asked. It's okay. I was just thinking, that thing doesn't know what it is. Gohan walked towards the strange thing. What? Where? Seeing that thing, Gohan was taken aback, shouting at Trunks and Bulma, come and see. What did you and Gohan? Look at that thing, Gohan said, pointing to the strange thing. Trunks and Bulma looked in the direction Gohan was pointing, and they were also startled and couldn't help but exclaim. It was something 2 or 3 meters long that looked like some kind of bug. At RST, they thought it was the corpse of some kind of bug. But when they walked in, they realized that it was not a corpse. It's the shell that some creature has taken off. Empty shell? Where are there such big cicadas in this area? Bulma was a little surprised, not to mention this area. The entire Earth may not be able to ND such a big cicada. There are no cicadas that big. This could be. Trunks nodded and took Gohan's words. It may be the shell of a creature that ran out of the eggshell of a time machine. Gohan said, yes, that creature may have taken off this shell when it grew. What's going on? What the hell is this shell that has come off? Bulma asked. Gohan, no one knows about this because no one has ever seen it. How the hell did this come about? Could it be that someone in the future will put eggs in a time machine and come here? Or did someone come here with this egg? I really don't understand. Which one is it? Trunks looked at the shell confused. He put his hand inside the shell. A slimy touch came from the hand. Trunks quickly withdrew his hand. I saw that his hands were stained with purple slime. This empty shell has not been long since it came off. Tanjin looked at everything that happened on the Earth, and Nully knew what the reason for their uneasiness he had been feeling for the past 4 years was. He also Nully made up his mind to become one with Pike. Chapter 13. Sorry, listeners, now temporarily insert the express. Now continue to report on the continuation of the previously released news. An hour ago, the western suburban city, Jinga, which abruptly cut off any news, has now transmitted a report after the investigation team went to the local area to investigate. It is said that the local residents disappeared in an instant, and the whole city was like a ghost town, and half a person could not be seen. Mo Yuan, who was in the car, heard this news report, and he knew that he could not delay it any longer. Sharu has already appeared. Time is running out. If they are not stronger, then what awaits them will only be absorbed by Sharu and become their nutrients for Charlotte to evolve into a complete body. Sister, can you go to cultivation with me? I want to get stronger. Cultivation? Why do you think this way? No one in this world is our opponent. Before Lazari could speak, Lapis said with great disdain. In Lapis' mind, they are invincible beings. What Monkey King? Vegeta is not his enemy. With such a strong self, what else do you need to cultivate? Just follow him everywhere and play. Xiaok, cough. Obuchi, why do you suddenly want to become stronger? Lazily asked softly. You know, I have the cells of Sun Wukong and Vegeta and others, and Sun Wukong and Vegeta are Saiyan, and Vegeta's golden state today is a transformation ability of their race, known as Super Saiyan. Mo Yuan's expression was very serious. Oh? Sounds, bells and whistles. Lapis remained disdainful. What about transformation? After the transformation, you were not beaten to death by yourself? Don't underestimate the transformation of a Saiyan. After becoming a Super Saiyan, you can increase his combat effectiveness by 50 times. 50 times? Lazari and Lapis were slightly surprised. Mo Yuan nodded and said, that's right, 50 times. So as long as their normal combat effectiveness is improved, they can defeat you with the transformation of Super Saiyan. The most important thing is that Saiyans have a trait that greatly improves their combat effectiveness every time they recover from death. This time Vegeta was defeated by you, although it has not yet reached the point of dying, but he has also suffered a lot of injuries, and after he recovers from his injuries, after cultivating for a period of time, his combat effectiveness will definitely improve, and then it will be difficult to predict the victory or defeat when you GHT again. Lapis looked at Mo Yuan, who had a solemn expression, and suddenly remembered when he fought with Vegeta before. Vegeta's combat effectiveness suddenly increased significantly. Although he still can't beat himself, if he has a few more such promotions, he may not be able to beat him. Is what you said true? Lapis became serious. He actually believed it. After all, Mo Yuan had no reason to lie to him. Seeing that his words were listened to by Lapis, Mo Yuan decided to add another re. Moreover, I can feel that there are more terrifying forces in the Saiyan cells waiting to be excavated, and the Super Saiyans are far from the limit of the Saiyan. They have deeper transformations. At that time, it will not be as simple as 50 times the normal combat effectiveness. It may be 100 times, or even 1000 times. Imagine that he also increases combat power by 1 point, but with one more transformation, he can increase combat power by 50 points. It is equivalent to 50 times the cultivation speed of others, and if there is a deep transformation, then his cultivation speed is hundreds or thousands of times that of others. Although many people feel that Monkey King these Saiyans are too dependent on transformation because the transformation is not lasting. The body cannot carry it for a long time after each battle. But they didn't think that the enemies they encountered were too strong. If they didn't rely on transformation, they couldn't beat it at all. At that time, life is gone, and it is useless to last. However, powerful transformations allow them to instantly have the capital to confront powerful enemies, and even surpass them and defeat them. So, they are not too dependent, but they have no choice. If they were given enough time to cultivate, they would not overly pursue transformation. What about you? Lazily looked at Mo Yuan and asked, huh? You also have Saiyan cells. Can you also become what you call a Super Saiyan? Yes. Mo Yuan paused for a moment and continued, but my strength is still too weak, far from reaching the minimum threshold of transformation. You know, the minimum threshold for becoming a Super Saiyan is 3 million combat power plus extreme anger. If you want to come to fruition and do not rely on angry transformation, the normal combat power required is definitely higher than this combat effectiveness. So Mo Yuan is still too weak. Although I don't know what my own combat power is, according to the chi on other people's bodies, Mo Yuan can probably judge that his combat power should be around 1 million. 1 million combat power. If it was placed 10 years ago, then this combat power can be created casually on the earth. But now, at best, it's just a little bigger cannon fodder. Lazily, then you are cultivating now. Is it too late? Mo Yuan shook his head and said, if it is under normal circumstances, it is indeed too late. But I know a place where I have been practicing inside for a year, but only 1 day has passed. Outside. Oh? Lazily, Lapis, and even number 16, who had always been calm, were a little surprised. Is there such a magical place in the world? Lapis stared at Mo Yuan. However, how do you know? The same artificial people, a few of us, don't know, not even Dr. Gro's smelly old man. Mo Yuan. Degrees. A trace of panic hashed in his eyes. But fortunately he reacted quickly and immediately found an excuse. I have the cells of Sun Wukong fused into my body. This is known from his cell memory. He cultivated in it for a month when he was young. Oh, yes. Lapis looked at Mo Yuan thoughtfully. To be honest, he didn't really believe Mo Yuan's set of rhetoric. But it didn't matter, because he didn't feel malice in Mo Yuan. Everyone will have their own secrets, and he doesn't want to delve into them. He just needs to know that Mo Yuan has no malice towards them. Sister, how's it going? Do you want to go together? Mo Yuan looked at Lazily with a hopeful expression. Of course, Lazily wants to go and spend a year alone with little cute for a year. Oh, but. Lazily looked at her brother a little embarrassed. Lapis, __. You go with him. He is still too weak. If you go alone, I am afraid that there will be an accident. Sun Wukong's side and the 16th too are enough. Where would Lapis not know the mind of his twin sister? Okay, I can't help you. Lazily spread her hands and looked helpless. In fact, rickrackers have already begun to be set off in my heart. It's almost a song of good luck comes. Chapter 14. Sister, I can why by myself. At this time, Mo Yuan and Lazily had separated from Lapis and number 16. Mo Yuan and Lazily went to the temple and went to the spirit time house to cultivate, and Lapis and number 16 continued to move in the direction of Sun Wukong's house. After they solved the Monkey King, they will join the two of them in the temple. As soon as he got out of the car, Mo Yuan was hugged by Lazily again, so he made a small suggestion. Lazily's face was expressionless, with a hint of disgust in her tone. You why too slowly? Oh, okay. Mo Yuan was a little lost, buried his head in the snow peak, and comforted himself with a facial cleanser. Lazily played with this Mo Yuan's tail, and a smug smile appeared on her face. Xiaoxian, You still want to GHD with me, Mo Yuan? Hold tight. Lazily reminded, mobilized the energy in her body, and began to accelerate. Mo Yuan reluctantly lifted his head from the gentle township, and said to Lazily, "Sister, let's go to the Western City RSD and go there to get something." Lazily didn't ask, and directly changed direction. A few minutes later, Lazily and Mo Yuan came to the house of Bummer in the Western City. The purpose of coming to Bummer's house was naturally to get the cultivation plug-in gravity room. After all, Mo Yuan's combat effectiveness is still too low now. If you want to quickly increase your strength, it is not enough to rely on the 10x gravity in their Spirit Time House. You know, Sun Wukong's 90,000 combat power can withstand 100 times the gravity. In the Spirit Time House, there is already 10 times more gravity than the Earth, and if you use the gravity chamber inside, the effect can exceed the Earth 10 times. Mrs. Brive looked at the two strangers falling from the sky and opened her eyes rarely. "Who are you looking for?" Mo Yuan looked at the blonde beautiful young woman in front of him, and immediately recognized it. This person was Bummer's mother, Mrs. Brive. "Hello Mrs. Brive, we are here to ND Miss Bummer. Bummer has something to go out. Do you have something to do with her?" Cute little brother. Although Mo Yuan has horns on his head and a tail behind him, he can't stop him from looking cute. That cute appearance instantly captured Mrs. Brive's heart. Seeing Mrs. Brive's affectionate tone, a cold light flashed in Lazily's eyes. Mrs. Brive suddenly felt a chill down her spine. Sweat all over the body. Strange, how it feels a little cold. Mrs. Brive rubbed the goosebumps on her arm, and her eyes swept over lazily next to Mo Yuan. "Let's ask Miss Bummer to borrow the gravity room to use it," Mo Yuan said. "The gravity chamber?" Mrs. Brive thought for a moment. "I know where it is. I asked people to bring it. Bummer seems to have something important to do, and I don't know when she will return." Mrs. Brive immediately made a call, but a little later, a robot came over with a small box. What's inside the small box is a gravity chamber that shrinks into a universal capsule. Mo Yuan never dreamed that he would get it so smoothly. "I thought there would be a wave of coercion and inducement. Are the people in Dragon Ball so innocent? Just a few words and believe. O_O." After Mo Yuan, who was puzzled, thanked Mrs. Brive, he took the universal capsule and left with lazily. "I can't gear it out, but it's good to get your hands on something." When it was not necessary, Mo Yuan did not want to do anything to them. Not long after Mo Yuan and lazily left, Bummer returned in a plane. As soon as Bummer entered the house, she saw her mother looking shocked. "Mom, what's wrong? Did something happen?" "Two people came to you just now, and they want to borrow the gravity chamber to use." "Who are those two? Did you give them to them?" "I don't know who they are, but the girls' clothes have the Red Ribbon Legion logo on them. So I gave them the gravity chamber that Vegeta had been using." "What? Red Ribbon Legion? Could it be an artificial human?" "They didn't mess around, did they?" "Have you been injured?" Hearing the Red Ribbon Legion, Bummer felt a shiver in her heart. She got the news from Klin. Vegeta also has trunks in the future, time and space, including Vic and Tanjin Fan, and several people can't beat the artificial humans together. If they messed around, the robot security guards in her house would not be able to confront the androids. "I'm afraid that it will not be beaten into broken copper and iron all at once." "It's okay, it's okay." They took the gravity chamber and left. Mrs. Brive comforted Bulma. Mrs. Brive was also afraid that they would be unfavorable to Bulma, so she hastened to give them the gravity chamber to prevent them from meeting Bulma. Otherwise, with Mo Yuan's cute appearance, Mrs. Brive would have to leave them for a meal. "That's good." Hearing that the family was okay, Bulma was relieved. "No, I have to talk to Klin and them quickly." The role of the gravity room is nothing more than to use it for cultivation, and the strength of artificial people is so terrifying. They actually work so hard to cultivate. At the same time that Bulma contacted Klin, Mo Yuan and lazily had already arrived near the Caranta. At this time, in the temple, only Bobo, who was as black as a briquette, was there. As for Vic, after merging with the celestial god, he left the temple to end the monster that devoured humans everywhere. Bobo, who was still secretly saddened by the departure of the god of heaven, saw Mo Yuan and lazily, and the whole person was frightened and panicked. Although in a previous life, many people speculated that Bobo was a hidden big boss. Mo Yuan also had this idea before, but now looking at the frightened briquette in front of him, Mo Yuan completely dispelled his previous illusions. However, as a good youth, child, in society, Mo Yuan still greeted Bobo very politely. "Hello, Mr. Bobo, we would like to borrow the Spirit Time House to use it." Always following the heavenly god, Bobo naturally knew who Mo Yuan and lazily were. After all, he and the two of them have been peeping in the temple. What happened below, they saw clearly. However, their combat effectiveness is too low. Even if you want to help, there is nothing you can do. In the face of Mo Yuan's request, Bobo certainly did not agree. Their request was strongly rejected. After being rejected, lazily silently rolled up her sleeves. After a friendly exchange, Bobo was nearly convinced. The bodies threw themselves into the Spirit Time House. Of course, lazily didn't hit hard. It's just that Bobo is probably going to be unconscious for a while. Chapter 15. As soon as he opened the door of the Spirit Time House, Mo Yuan felt a scorching air rushing towards him. Walking into the spirit time house, Mo Yuan and lazily felt their bodies sink. 10 times the gravity is not as simple as adding 10 times your weight on yourself like carrying weight. The effect of gravity is on the whole body, not just the body surface. It also includes internal organs, or rather, acts on every cell in the body. That is to say, gravity can exercise every cell of the body, which is why under gravity, cultivation will be twice as effective with half the effort. This is far from being comparable to weight bearing. After all, weight bearing only exercises their muscles on the surface of the body, and cannot exercise the internal organs, let alone every cell. This is not much different from the spiritual time house in Mo Yuan's memory. 10 times their gravity, a temperature of 50 degrees to minus 40 degrees, and only a quarter of the thin air on the ground. There is also this white expanse. There is no silent space day and night. This is not only a test of the body, but also a test of the spiritual will of the person. People with weak willpower, even if their bodies can carry it, their spirits may collapse. However, these are nothing to Mo Yuan. He didn't need to think about the air at all. After all, he was freezes cells on his body and can survive in space, even if there is no air. The problem of temperature, at least the current 50 degrees of high temperature, does not have any effect on him. As for the mental aspect, there is no need to worry. He has been in the underground laboratory, motionless for a year. Now at least it can be moved, and Mo Yuan noticed the storage room next to it, which was full of food. You know, he hasn't eaten for a year, and he thought before that he would eat a big meal when he came out. It turned out never to be a chance. Now, Nally, there is time to eat. However, too little pressure is not a good thing, which is not beneficial to cultivation. Cultivation pays attention to advancing against the current, and the greater the pressure, the more powerful the power can be burst out. Mo Yuan couldn't help but feel a little glad that he went to the Western City RST to get their gravity room. Otherwise, relying on the environment in this spiritual time room alone, I am afraid that it will not cause much pressure on yourself. Since there are not enough difficulties, then create difficulties for yourself. After a little adaptation to the tenfold gravity, there is no pressure to be felt. But what about 100-fold, 1,000 times more? You know, the gravity chamber made by Bulma can reach 500 times gravity. And in this spiritual time room, the effect has doubled tenfold. That's 5,000 times the Earth's gravity. Mo Yuan didn't dare to guarantee that in 1 year in this spiritual time room, he could really cultivate to withstand 5,000 times the gravity. In addition to dealing with these, what surprised Mo Yuan the most was that in this spiritual time room, the concentration of vitality was extremely large. It even exceeds the concentration of outside gas. It can be said that this cultivation in a place full of vitality, even if it does not absorb the vitality will subtly improve its body through a person's breath and inhale. If this was the case, then Mo Yuan could also understand why cultivating in this place of 10 times gravity could not achieve an effect comparable to 100 times the gravity of their outside world. Like in the original book, before Gohan entered the spirit time house, his combat power was not enough to transform into a Super Saiyan, that is, the 3 million combat power that had not yet reached the minimum threshold, and after cultivating in the spirit time house for a year, his combat effectiveness soared, not only reaching the full power state of Super Saiyan, but his combat effectiveness was even higher than that of Sun Wukong. In addition to his own huge potential, the vitality in this is estimated to have played a big role. And here is not to mention for Mo Yuan. He can absorb the vitality himself, and here it is like a dragon returning to the sea, like a sh in water. With these vitality, Mo Yuan was more sure to deal with Shahu and Vegeta. Thinking of this, an excited smile appeared on Mo Yuan's face. What's wrong? Why are you so happy? Lazily looked at the excited Mo Yuan a little inexplicably. This ghost place not only has thin air, but also has 10 times the gravity, and the temperature is so hot. It couldn't help but make her feel a little irritated. Mo Yuan nodded happily and said, "This place is amazing and I will definitely be able to be strong in a year. By the way, sister, you should be able to cultivate, right?" Mo Yuan suddenly thought that the power of artificial humans was transformed through transformation. "I didn't cultivate it myself, although Old Bird once said that artificial people can be cultivated, but Old Bird is a comic drawn and understands a fart Dragon Ball." Lazily tilted her head and thought for a moment. "I don't know. I've never practiced." Lazily herself is an ordinary human girl who has no contact with martial arts. The strength in his body was also obtained after being transformed by Dr. Gro, although Dr. Gro also implanted some combat memories in them. But as for how to cultivate, Lazily is still in a state of half understanding. "Then let's try it again when we're done." Mo Yuan looked at the storage room next to him, thinking about the delicious food in his previous life. The saliva almost fell down. Eat? Since she was transformed into a human being by Dr. Gro, Lazily has not eaten a mouthful of food, at most drinking water, because they no longer need to rely on food to maintain their physical functions. She hadn't eaten for years, and she had almost forgotten the taste of food. And Mo Yuan, who is also an artificial person, would actually give birth to the idea of eating, and lazily felt very strange. However, Mo Yuan couldn't bear himself at this time. Run to the storage room on small short legs. After a while, he came out of the pantry with a pile of food larger than his body. Although Mo Yuan was a chartered public in his previous life, he didn't worry about eating and drinking, and he didn't worry about having no money to spend. But because of the death of both parents, he taught himself to cook well. Although it is not as good as those chefs and the like, it is still better than ordinary people. I don't know how many times. The chi in Dragon Ball is simply omnipotent. Directly Mo Yuan condensed a knife with chi in one hand, and with the other hand, he turned into aims with gas and roasted a leg of lamb that was about the size of his whole person. The knife in Mo Yuan's hand did not stop, striking on the leg of lamb, cutting the skin and flesh of the leg of lamb, and then smearing it with the sauce he had just prepared. As the burned, the lamb shank was roasted and oiled, and the spices smeared on Mo Yuan were also mixed with the taste of lamb to form a special and rich aroma. The aroma slowly spreads in the spirit time house. Although lazily wondered why Mo Yuan could cook, but when she smelled this rich aroma, Lazily's stomach, which had not felt hungry for several years, suddenly seemed to be a little empty. This change surprised Lazily, because she suddenly felt as if she had changed back to the normal human she had before. You will feel hungry, you will feel tired. Mo Yuan separated the roasted lamb shank bone meat, broke it into small pieces, and packed it in a large basin. I got some vegetables to make a side dish. After all of this, I saw Lazily not far away staring at the food on the dining table. There was a word in his eyes. Gluttonous. It's kind of cute. Sister, it's time to eat. Lazily was completely regained by Mo Yuan's shout, realizing that she had just made some gaffes, and two red clouds couldn't help but appear on her face. Chapter 16. What? After merging with the celestial god, Vic Fight's combat power exploded. Without any hesitation, he immediately left the temple and came to the place where Shalu existed in the memory of the gods. After a superb interpretation, Vic successfully set out the origin of Shalu from his mouth. But Shalu's origin sounds terrifying to Vic and can even be said to be terrifying. Frightened, Bike's face turned green because it was not Shalu who came out of the underground laboratory, and according to Shalu, he should not come out until 24 years later. There are only two possibilities: either the Saru of this space-time has mutated, or there is another underground lab. Because the known underground laboratory is basically in ruins, there were no other creatures in it except for the imp. That little ghost should not be Shalu, and Shalu's chi is mixed with the chi of countless people. That little ghost's chi is unique, unseen chi. And the tail of that imp is not like the tail of Sharu, whose tail is like a syringe. The little ghost's tail is like SH's tail. Sharu devours humans by his syringe-like tail, like drinking water, absorbing humans little by little. Of course, it cannot be ruled out that the little ghost also has this ability, but in other ways. Vic has decided that after eliminating Shalu, he will destroy the imp along with several other artificial humans. Now that the words have been set, Vic is not ready to continue acting. It's time to kill this monster. I saw that Vic directly pulled out Sharu's shriveled arm. Ugh! With a roar from Bike, a brand new arm grew out of the broken arm. Thank you for giving me the reference. Are you paraphrasing me? Sharu's eyes widened in disbelief. Vic had a murderous look in his playful eyes. How can you make this guy a complete body? Because you still have my cells. You don't even know if my arm can regenerate, you idiot. Just when Vic and Sharu were about to GHT again, Trunks and Klin, who sensed Sharu's strange chi, also came to the scene. Seeing Sharu like a monster, both Klin and Trunks were a little scared. Faced with three enemies, Sharu has already retreated. After all, he couldn't even beat Bike. Although Klin's combat power is not worth mentioning, Trunks can still cause him a little trouble. Sharu jumped up and flew into the air, his gear overlapping the sun, his hands open at the sides of his eyes. Sun fist. In an instant, a violent light emerged from Sharu. For a while, the whole world turned white. Vic and the others were so blinded by the harsh light that their eyes could not be opened at all. At this moment, Shalu completely hid the chi in his body, quickly burrowed into the mountain forest, and ate through the cover of the trees. Abominable. Unable to see and sense Shalu's chi, Vic and the others could only let Shalu escape. I don't know which direction to chase. When their eyes are good and they can open them, where can they still see Sharu? The three flew into the air and looked around, surrounded by mountains and forests, and could not see Sharu's gear at all. I don't know which direction to track, so I have no choice but to give up. Vic somewhat regretted talking to Sharu so much. He should be completely eliminated at once. Now that he has escaped, it is not so easy to end him again. After today, Sharu will nightly act more carefully until he is sure to deal with everyone. After a while, Vegeta and Tanjin Fan also came. They also sensed the anger of Vic and Sharu. After everyone arrived, Vic told everyone about Shalu's origins. What? Isn't that underground lab a ghost? How did you become a monster? The people present had been to the underground lab, so they were surprised. By the way, I just received a call from Bulma. She said that the artificial man went to her house and took away the gravity room used by Vegeta's cultivation. Vegeta? What's the situation? Come out. The home is stolen. Abominable. If it weren't for his strength, Vegeta would now want to beat those bastards who stole their homes to death. However, the artificial people are so strong, they actually go to grab the gravity room to cultivate. Are they also rolled up now? The news sounded mixed in Vic Press. If the artificial man becomes stronger, Shalu will not be so easy to absorb the artificial human. But if the androids become too strong, then they will face the dual threat of the artificial man and Shalu. Fortunately, the whereabouts of the artificial people are uncertain, and it may take some work for Sharu to empty them. In the end, Trunks and Klin decide to go back to the underground lab to check it out to see if anything was missing. But the underground lab was in ruins, and Trunks and Klin got nothing. In the original book, they also found the design drawings of number 17 here, and Bulma successfully made a controller based on the drawings. Now this drawing has long been turned to ash in the explosion. In the end, Trunks and Klin spent most of the day's work, and found nothing, so they could only leave sadly. On the way back, Trunks thought of Vegeta's words, "Go beyond Super Saiyan." He decided to practice with Vegeta, so he and Klin parted ways. He went to ND Vegeta to cultivate, and Klin returned to the Turtle Immortal House, where he read the news, and as soon as there was news from Sharu, they could act immediately. Spirit Time House. Comfortable, hiccup tilde. Mo Yuan, who had a full meal, leaned on the back of the chair and patted his belly that was eating high, so uncomfortable. Mo Yuan, who has Saiyan cells, one big leg of lamb is nightly not enough. He eats and roasts, and eats 10 legs of lamb to be full. And lazily has long been unable to eat, so she can only watch Mo Yuan eat happily on the side, so she is not envious. This is no way, although she is an artificial human, she is still a human in essence, but she does not have a bottomless stomach like a Saiyan. Uncontested tears ran out of the corners of her mouth, and lazily touched her stomach, although it only rose a little, but it could not hold anything. I have to say that Mo Yuan's craftsmanship is really good. If it weren't for the fact that she really couldn't eat, Lazily would like to eat more. The feeling of not eating enough at all for Mo Yuan's cooking skills, Lazily was still very surprised. After all, he is an artificial human born from nothing, not transformed by humans. Can't Dr. Gra implant culinary memories into him? Dr. Gra didn't want to create an anti-type artificial human. How could he do such a boring thing? Although I don't know where Mo Yuan came from such a good cooking, Lazily didn't plan to ask. She and Lapis are in agreement. Everyone has their own secrets that don't need to be overexplored. It is enough to know that the person will not harm himself. Chapter 17. The way Dragon Ball is cultivated is very peculiar. It's not like in fantasy novels, you need exercises or something. It's simple, exercise. How to exercise? Just like ordinary peopleness. What push-ups, sit-ups. Compared to a certain legend next door, Dragon Ball's cultivation method is simply child's play. But people are strong, and they can explode stars casually. Kaguya wanted to cut his eyes off when he saw it. Apostrophe. Colon. Middle dot. Apostrophe. Colon. Colon. What do you want to do with this 9-hook jade reincarnation eye? But what? Although the Dragon Ball cultivation method is simple, if you add gravity, it is different. Mo Yuan took out a small treasure from his pocket, pressed it and threw it out. Boom. Surrounded by a puff of smoke, and a 200-square-meter house appeared out of thin air. This is the gravity chamber shrunk in the universal capsule. The tenfold gravity in the spirit time room was no pressure for Mo Yuan, so you have to use external forces. Mo Yuan also did not get too high a gravity at one time. First adjusted the gravity tenfold. Multiply with gravity in the spirit time house. 100 times the gravity instantly poured on Mo Yuan. Mo Yuan suddenly felt that his body suddenly sank, like a mountain pressing on his body. Even if he had been prepared, he was stumbled. Lazily on the side was under 100 times gravity, but her body shook a little. It took a quick time to get used to it. It can be seen that its strength is strong. However, 100 times the gravity is still lower for Mo Yuan. It can only be said that it has a little impact, but not much. So Mo Yuan continued to increase gravity. When gravity is adjusted to 20 times, that is, 200 times the gravity of the Earth, Mo Yuan Nally felt the pressure. The huge pressure made Mo Yuan feel that his waist was almost unable to straighten up. Lazily on the side still did not receive much in UNs. However, although lazily followed the cultivation, her RST step now was not to cultivate in gravity like Mo Yuan. It's about inducting gas. Chi is everywhere, and there is also chi in the human body. But there is only a difference in how much, and the RST step to cultivate is to sense chi. Only when chi is sensed, cultivation is useful. Otherwise, no matter how much you practice, at most, it will only strengthen your body. Lazily, who had never been in contact with martial arts, quickly sensed the chi in her body under Mo Yuan's explanation. Lazily condensed the chi in her hand, although this chi was very small compared to the energy in her body. But after all, this was cultivated by herself, and a trace of excitement could not help but rise in her heart. The condensed chi on Lazily's hand emitted a faint shimmer, as faint as the light of a rewire. This bit of gas can only be punched in the ground, but this is a ticket to martial arts practice. Some people don't get this ticket for the rest of their lives. And Lazily is different from ordinary people. After her body has been transformed, the competition subhuman is even stronger. It can even be said that the knife and gun are invulnerable, and the water and re are inviolable. Therefore, as long as she starts cultivating, it won't be long before she can have strong combat power just by relying on her chi. At that time, coupled with the energy she already had in her body, I am afraid that Vegeta, who had been cultivating from the Spirit Time House for a year, would not be able to beat her. That's it. Mo Yuan and Lazily sweat in the gravity room. Although it is a simple exercise such as push-ups, it is especially difficult under 200 times their gravity. Lazily is okay. After all, 200 times gravity is nothing to her. Mo Yuan was a little difficult. Every push-up is like a mountain on top. Every movement requires almost all the strength of the whole body. Crystal sweat ran across his face, gathered on the tip of his nose and dripped to the ground. Mo Yuan gritted his teeth, endured the soreness in his arm, and gasped for breath and persisted. He also didn't understand why he was working so hard to cultivate. To stay alive? Or maybe it's for something else? He didn't know. But there is a hunch in the underworld, if he does not desperately become stronger now, then he will regret it for the rest of his life. Cultivation is bitter though. But the effect is also very significant. Mo Yuan saw with his heart that the surrounding chi and vitality were gathered and surrounded him, like loyal bodyguards guarding their sovereign. Then it enters his body in an orderly manner and is absorbed by his own body. With chi and vitality entering your body, Mo Yuan felt that his body became warm, and the soreness in his body slowly weakened. Mo Yuan also found that absorbing chi while cultivating was more efficient than simply absorbing chi. Moreover, the body has become stronger and tougher under repeated tempering between wear and tear repairs. Compared with Mo Yuan, Lazily is much easier. With her strength, cultivating under 200 times the gravity is as simple as drinking water. What's more, she also has unlimited physical strength. However, the scorching air in the Spirit Time room also made her sweat. The clothes on his body were completely soaked with sweat. The soaked clothes clinging to the delicate body, and the graceful body is at a glance at this moment, which is perfectly displayed. It's a pity that although it is within the scope of his heart's eyes, Mo Yuan has no heart to think about anything else at the moment. One mind is only to cultivate and become stronger. So they didn't look closely at Lazily. Otherwise, I am afraid that I will not have the heart to cultivate. Time always eyes fast in cultivation. In the blink of an eye, the two had been cultivating for several hours. Gutilda. The huge protest sound from Mo Yuan's stomach was particularly clear in this silent space. Cultivating under gravity for a few hours is very huge for the energy consumption of the body. The little bit I had eaten before was consumed. His stomach was hungry, and Mo Yuan felt that his body began to weaken. Therefore, he no longer insisted. After all, he could better cultivate when he was full. Cultivation is gradual and cannot be achieved overnight. Mo Yuan turned off the gravity, and instantly felt a light on his body. I feel like walking like a scoop, and the whole person is uttering. After several hours of cultivation, Mo Yuan felt that the energy in his body had increased by as much as half, and his body had become tougher under the washing of vitality. Moreover, he can almost adapt to 200 times the gravity, and he can appropriately increase it a little next time he cultivates. After finishing her cultivation, Lazily discovered a serious problem. Obachi, there are no clothes to change here. After practicing for half a day, my clothes were soaked, and my whole body was sticky and uncomfortable. Lazily wants to take a comfortable bath right now. However, she only has one set of clothes. You can't put on this out tee again after taking a shower. This question is not a problem for Mo Yuan. Mo Yuan looked at Lazily and was about to say something. Wet body temptation. Q Is this really something that can be watched for free without paying? The soaked clothes cling tightly to Lazily's skin, outlining her graceful figure. Although the landscape ahead is not magnificent, it is just right against the background of their willow waist. The small face, which is slightly drunk due to the sultry heat, is like a rose waiting to be put in the bud. Delicate. Mo Yuan couldn't help but be stunned. Chapter 18. Aurora found something amazing. A hint of cunning ashed in Lazily's eyes. Then she twisted her willow waist, stepped on the cat step, and gradually approached Mo Yuan. Step by step, the gyur swayed, and there was a touching smile on his cold face, like a small wild cat that tickled people's hearts. A slender and tender gyur hooked Mo Yuan's chin, and the seductive voice lingered in his ears. Little cute, is my sister good looking? Showdown? I'm not pretending. Anyway, if you want to stay in the Spirit Time House together for a year, where can the little cutie run? Obediently obey me, well, pretty. Mo Yuan stumbled when he spoke, and his soul didn't know where to why. Lovely. Think. Mo Yuan watched as Lazily's face got closer and closer to him, and his eyes widened more and more. What do you want to do? Mo Yuan only felt a soft and moist thing pasted on his cheek, and then a suction force came. Lazily originally wanted to kiss it gently, but when she touched Mo Yuan's delicate cheek, She couldn't help but take a sip hard. Well, what a fragrance. After nishing, he licked his lips, as if he was savoring something, looking like a female hooligan, with unnished intentions. A small strawberry soon appeared on Mo Yuan's white and tender cheek. Touching his face, Mo Yuan looked at lazily in disbelief, pointing at lazily. You don't talk about martial virtue, sneak up on me, a 6-year-old little comrade. So angry that Mo Yuan turned his back and didn't want to look at lazily again. Damn it, after living 2 lifetimes, it was the RSD time I was kissed by a girl. My precious RSD time is gone. How could she do this? How about a few more kisses? Angry? That's impossible. Mo Yuan was just a little shy. Although he had money in his previous life, he had never messed around outside. I like to stay at home, and the most I can do is go out to collect rent. Later, after the popularity of online payment, there was no reason to even go out. Grocery shopping is delivered to the door by a certain group. Stay at home every day, let alone girls. Even female animals are not in contact. Touching the place on his face where he had been kissed, Mo Yuan began to wander again too. Empty. Suddenly, Mo Yuan felt a lightness on his body, and his body was embraced into an airy embrace. After all, the 50-degree high temperature here is really hot. Little cutie. Angry? HMPH. How about my sister give you a kiss back? Mo Yuan. Your abacus beads are all jumping on my face. Seeing Lazily's face stretched out in front of him, Mo Yuan was speechless. Lazily waited for a while. Does the little cutie hate her sister? Sister is so sad. Mo Yuan looked at Lazily's sad gesture and sneered in his heart. Teasing children? This botched acting. But since that's the case, Mo Yuan put the plan into account and pretended to be very flustered. No, I like my sister the most. Lazily held Mo Yuan with one hand and pretended to wipe her tears with the other. Really? Mo Yuan quickly nodded. Really? I don't believe it unless you kiss me. Mo Yuan was shocked. Degrees vertical bar, _ the map of Yan country turned out to be so short. Looking at the pretty face stretched out in front of Lazily, the crystal clear, blown breakable skin, Mo Yuan suddenly felt a little nervous, and couldn't help swallowing his saliva. It is particularly clear in this silent space. A smile lashed under Lazily's eyes. Mo Yuan approached Lazily's face little by little, and his nasal cavity was already laid with a faint fragrance on her body. In his previous life, Mo Yuan had seen a sentence in biology: if the other person does not wear perfume and you can still smell her body fragrance, it proves that your genes chose her. Whether this statement is true or false, it is not certain. For Lazily, Mo Yuan didn't know how he felt. Must like it. People who like to watch Dragon Ball, who doesn't love Lazily? However, this is only for the liking of this character. But speaking of love, it's a bit premature. The aroma on Lazily's body was the RSD time Mo Yuan had smelled it in so long life. A little creamy, but not sweet, a little oral, but not pungent, like the cold plum of the moon. There. Lotus hours after the rain, refreshing. Mo Yuan's lips slightly pressed to Lazily's face. Soft, bouncy, and a little sweet. One touch is instantaneous, like being a thief with a weak heart. Mo Yuan is a typical thief with a heart and no thief's guts. Theoretical knowledge, max. Practical experience 0. Read countless LMS in my last life. You can come up with hundreds of different scenarios and postures. As soon as it comes to practical operation, it is directly muted. However, his shy appearance seems to Lazily to like it more. Of course, it's not the liking between lovers, but the kind of liking for children. After all, Lazily just likes cute things, and is not a pervert of pedophile. Seeing that Mo Yuan was so shy, it was not good for Lazily to tease him anymore. But he didn't put him down and continued to carry him out of the gravity room. Lazily thought of important questions again, and just now she was teasing the child, and she forgot about the business. So are we going to go out and get some clothes? Mo Yuan shook his head and said, no need, I can solve the problem of clothes. Mo Yuan has big cells in his body. Vic will do all the tricks, including Bike's superpowers. Just making a few clothes is simply trivial for Mo Yuan. Just like the clothes on his body, he conjured it himself. Otherwise, he would have died and run naked in front of so many people. Oh? Lazily looked at Mo Yuan, a little puzzled. A strange energy appeared in Mo Yuan's hand. Then a set of clothes appeared on his hand out of thin air. Wow. Oh. Lazily looked at the clothes that appeared out of thin air. Her eyes widened, and the expression of surprise looked extremely cute on her face. This ability is really enviable. Mo Yuan jumped down from Lazily's arms and patted his chest very proudly at her. Sister, I can conjure up any kind of clothes you want. Lazily thought for a moment. To be suitable for sports. After thinking for a while, he added, it needs to look better. Mo Yuan's brain began to spin rapidly. But the amount of knowledge in his mind about women's clothing was really too small. In the end, Mo Yuan could only come up with a set of black sportswear. If you want to say that it is ugly, it is ordinary. Anyway, there are no highlights. Lazily took the clothes and measured them, and found that they were just right. However, she found another problem. Lazily looked at Mo Yuan playfully. Little cutie, you still forgot something. What? What is it? I don't know why. Seeing Lazily's expression, Mo Yuan was a little longing, like bra, and Mo Yuan's face turned red at once. Hurriedly conjured up 2 mysterious items and ran to the storage room. I went to cook. Lazily looked at Mo Yuan's back and covered her mouth and laughed. Then he shouted at Mo Yuan's back. Do you want to take a bath with your sister? It also saves some water. Mo Yuan stumbled and almost fell, but after stabilizing his body, he accelerated his speed and disappeared into Lazily's sight. After teasing the child, Lazily picked up the things that Mo Yuan had conjured up and put them on her body and measured them. This thing, it's a bit of an unexpected tea. As if thinking of something, Lazily's little face also became a little rosy. Chapter 19. I have to say that whether the clothes look good or not mainly depends on the person. It's obviously just a very ordinary set of sportswear. Wearing it on, Lazily looks so special, exceptionally good looking. Lazily came out of the bath and found that Mo Yuan had already cooked several dishes. The aroma of the meal wanders wildly, hooked up all the worms in Lazily's stomach. Mo Yuan noted in front of the stove, holding a spatula longer than his arm in his hand and quickly stir-frying in the pot. After a while, another dish was made by him. After serving the dishes, Mo Yuan uncovered the lid of the pot next to him. The gurgling was accompanied by a boiling sound, and a white mist wafted out of the pot. The alluring scent spread quickly, encroaching on the entire space. It's so fragrant. Lazily quickened her pace and walked over. In the pot, the thick broth boils in the pan, cut into square pieces of pork belly, and fried eggs like tiger skins are dyed temptingly crimson by the soup. Looking at the meat in the pot that was very tempting in color and aroma, Lazily couldn't help but swallow her saliva, and couldn't wait to taste it. Little cutie, what is this delicious? Lazily remained silent on the surface, but the afterglow of her eyes kept looking into the pot. Sister, this is braised pork and tiger skin eggs. Mo Yuan replied in a milky voice. What is the practice of braised rice? What does it taste like? Is it sweet or salty? There are words in Lazily's words. Point me? Of course, Mo Yuan knew what Lazily was thinking. It was nothing more than wanting to taste it, but he was embarrassed to speak. Moreover, her voice of swallowing saliva is really not small. However, how could Mo Yuan let her get it so easily? Just now teased me for so long, how to say it has to be teased back. Mo Yuan's eyes rolled and he pretended to be innocent. Braised is the dish made of this red color, which needs to be stir-fried with rock sugar, as well as light soy sauce and old soy sauce, and its taste is salty and slightly sweet. Then Mo Yuan picked up a piece of pork belly, half a palm-sized pork belly, wrapped in a thick soup, which looked appetizing. Sister, you see, I chose the best piece of pork belly, 3 points fat and 7 points thin. Such meat tastes the best, not greasy and not woody. In addition, I simmered slowly for an hour over low heat. The excess fat has been boiled out, and the lean meat part has also been stewed softly, and it melts in the mouth. You look at this pig skin again. After a long time of stewing, it has become very elastic, soft and sticky. This mouthful, bomb soft and sticky pig skin, fat but not greasy fat, and soft rotten lean meat suddenly exploded in the mouth. Saying that, Mo Yuan stuffed the pork belly into his mouth. Then he closed his eyes and enjoyed Lazily. Hard! Exclamation mark. Fist hard. The face that used to be very cute now looks so hateful. Although Mo Yuan closed his eyes, his heart eyes were always open, and when he saw that Lazily clenched his powder street, he quickly opened his eyes. The milk voice said milkily, Sister, you can also taste it and see if it suits your appetite. Mo Yuan quickly took out a small plate, put out a piece of braised pork and a tiger skin egg, and then drizzled a spoonful of soup on it. Then handed it to Lazily. Lazily stared blankly at the plate in her hand. I don't know why, she always feels that there is a breath hanging in her heart, not up and down, very uncomfortable. There is no way, only anger into appetite. Picking up the braised pork, Lazily opened her small mouth and took a bite on it. The taste is soft and sticky, and the braised pork that has been stewed for a long time melts in the mouth, and you don't even need to bite, and it melts with a sip of your tongue. The various spices and the ashy aroma of pork belly are perfectly blended together, and Lazily feels that every taste bud of her has been exploded. Such delicacy made Lazily close her eyes and enjoy it. Mo Yuan looked at Lazily's reaction, and compared himself with yes in his heart. Successfully strangled the crisis in the cradle. The skin runs at once. It's really exciting. After the crisis was lifted, Mo Yuan increased the and collected the soup of the braised pork. Again, braised pork Mo Yuan can make a whole pot. No way, just your own amount of food. If you don't cook more, it will take a lot of time. Just cooking every day. I came to this spiritual time house for cultivation, not to learn cooking. After stir-frying 2 simple side dishes, the meal is ready to begin. Lazily next to her has long been impatient. The piece of braised pork and a tiger skin egg just now burnished by her in 3 or 2 bites, and the insect that was aroused could not be pressed back. Lazily decided that she would eat an extra bowl of rice this time. The rice Mo Yuan also steamed a lot. After all, braised pork without rice is soulless. The rice is stained with a crimson thick soup that becomes even more tempting. Mo Yuan picked up a rice bowl bigger than his head and entered a state of madness. For a time, the sound of dishes and chopsticks staggered, and the sound of chewing and swallowing continued. Lazily, who decided to eat an extra bowl of rice, also fulfilled her promise. I ate 2 full bowls of rice. Of course, the rice bowl she uses is a normal rice bowl. When I ate it, I didn't feel anything, but after eating, Lazily felt that her stomach was getting more and more stretched. Lazily touched her somewhat bulging lower abdomen. His face was full of sadness. If you eat like this again, I'm afraid you will gain weight. If Mo Yuan knew what Lazily was worried about, he would nightly laugh out loud. In terms of their daily exercise, let alone gain weight, it is good if they have not become thinner. After eating, Mo Yuan felt that the temperature dropped a little. If it used to be 50 degrees, now it is estimated to be about 30 degrees. And the temperature continues to drop, very fast. In less than 10 minutes, the temperature dropped to -50 degrees. In the dishes that had not yet been picked up on the table, the remnants of food had frozen in this short period of time. It's good that they're already full, otherwise, you can only eat the ice banquet. Lazily seemed to be a little afraid of the cold, and her delicate body was frozen and trembled slightly. Seeing this, Mo Yuan felt that he used his superpower to conjure up 2 thick clothes. Sister, put this on. Mo Yuan handed the clothes to Lazily, but Lazily shook her head and refused. -50 degrees is indeed very cold, but for cultivators, this temperature is not enough to freeze the body. It's just that it will make people uncomfortable and extremely test people's willpower. Since she came to cultivate, then Lazily didn't want to borrow foreign objects to escape. After all, this was also part of cultivation. Mo Yuan also understood what Lazily meant, so he put away his clothes. Sister, or let's GHT. After eating, Mo Yuan felt that there was no place to use his strength. Just when the temperature has dropped, moving can also help Lazily warm her body. Moreover, cultivation is not just exercise, and GTing is also part of cultivation. Give yourself more control over your power. If exercising is about improving your strength, GTing is about mastering your strength. After a day of cultivation, Mo Yuan felt that his strength had increased a lot, and he was ready to consolidate his strength in battle. Only the power that can be fully controlled is the power that belongs to itself. Chapter 20. In a pure white space. 2 gears, one large and one small, floated in midair. Mo Yuan's face was full of seriousness. It was his RSTGHT. Even though he has countless battle memories, he does not have the battle memories he has experienced and can only be used as a reference. Watch Mo Yuan put on a GTing stance. The corners of Lazily's mouth curved a little. She folded her hands to her chest and stood loosely in the air. The gap between the two was too big, like a world apart. There was no way to make her serious. Sister, be careful. As soon as the words fell, Mo Yuan instantly mobilized the chi of his whole body. Mo Yuan is not like Sun Wukong. They all like to tempt. All love waves, that is, there are DragonBallZ to revive them, otherwise this anime will have to finish in less than 12 episodes. Fighting with Lazily, Mo Yuan did not dare to slack off in the slightest. Mo Yuan's gyushuk moved at high speed, and disappeared in place. It appeared behind Lazily like a ghost. The small ST was led with overwhelming strength and swung at the back of Lazily's head. It is no exaggeration to say that the power of this punch is enough to turn a high mountain into a deep valley. In the face of Mo Yuan's attack, Lazily turned around very calmly. The head slowly moved to the side, and without even moving his footsteps, he lightly dodged the punch. The ST on Mo Yuan's ST fed Lazily's golden hair. One blow missed. Mo Yuan's heart did not wave. If this blow can hit, it will be really hell. Mo Yuan did not pause in the slightest, and his other hand also swung his ST at Lazily, while quickly kicking out. Under Mo Yuan's ST and foot, Lazily still held her chest with both hands, and her body shook lightly twice, and then she dodged again. Mo Yuan's hands and feet swung quickly, and they all turned into after images, like a rainstorm. Pear Blossom attacking Lazily. Every punch, every kick contains tremendous power. As if it was about to tear the space, it made a crackling sound. The surrounding air was stirred, forming a huge tornado. And Lazily, the center of the tornado, walked idly in Mo Yuan's attack, leisurely as if you were visiting the park. 5 minutes later, Mo Yuan stopped. After attacking for minutes, he didn't even touch the corner of Lazily's clothes. There is no point in such a GHT, he simply cannot learn anything. So, he said to Lazily seriously, sister, attack me, hit me. Xu was beaten RST. This sentence is not a joke. Only when you get beaten a lot can you understand various moves and accumulate experience. Oh? Lazily's eyes froze. Are you serious? It will hurt. Don't cry. Mo Yuan nodded vigorously and said, come on, I'm not afraid. There is determination in his eyes. Lazily didn't want a GHT. After all, if she cried the little cutie, she would be distressed. However, now looking at Mo Yuan's attitude, she knew that she had to get serious. Then you have to be careful. Lazily fed her left hair, pinned it behind her ear, and stared at Mo Yuan. White chi burst out, forming a layer of white transparent chi on her surface. The terrifying aura instantly made the air pressure of the entire space become lower, and the air seemed to be solidified. This chi is the chi that lazily cultivated today. Her powerful body allowed her to cultivate 20 times Mo Yuan's strength in just a few hours. This force also needs to be controlled slowly. After all, unlike the energy of artificial people, the energy of artificial people is innate energy, and she can squander it at will. And this chi is her own cultivation, and it will be consumed in battle, so she also needs to control this power by acting. At the very least, get rid of your bad habit of squandering energy at will. Use every power wisely. Under the suppression of this breath, Mo Yuan felt that it was a little difficult to breathe. With gas, Mo Yuan probably understood Lazily's thoughts. This breath is about 20 times my own. To be honest, I was a little envious, but with the same time of cultivation, the strength that Lazily cultivated was dozens of times that of her own. But this is also normal. After all, Lazily's body is like a dry lake, and 20 times her own strength. Is afraid that she can't even LL the bottom. And he is a small puddle lead with water, and if he wants to LL more water, he needs to expand the puddle. If only 20 times your own, then you can try that trick. 20-fold Realm King Fist. Mo Yuan drank low in his heart. A huge, tyrannical energy gushed out from deep within Mo Yuan's body, forming a layer of red aura on the surface of his body. The redum seemed to burn like and the surrounding air was a little distorted. This breath immediately pushed back the breath of Lazily. The two breaths competed. What a strong force. Mo Yuan moved his hands and feet, and the 20-fold power was indeed extraordinary. Mo Yuan felt that he could kill himself just now with a casual punch, the kind that he couldn't dodge. However, in addition to the increase in strength, Mo Yuan also felt that his physical strength was rapidly depleting, and his body was also depleted. Sure enough, the price to be paid for borrowed power is also not small. Heart A's, open. Mo Yuan found that after opening the 20-fold Realm King Fist, the range of the heart eye had also expanded by 20 times. Is this a Super Saiyan? It doesn't look like Vegeta's. Lazily looked at Mo Yuan, whose whole body was burning with red chi, and was a little curious. It's not. Mo Yuan shook his head. This is the Realm King Fist, a powerful martial art that Sun Wukong learned from the Northern Realm King. Realm King Fist? Interesting. The corners of Lazily's mouth hooked, and she became a little interested. Let's go. As if discussed, the two disappeared in place at the same time. With equal strength, Lazily can no longer tease Mo Yuan like just now. Under Mo Yuan's heart, Lazily's every move was hidden. Just now, Mo Yuan also had happy eyes, but the gap in strength was too big. Even if the heart eye saw Lazily's movements clearly, the speed was slow, and it was still impossible to hit if he couldn't hit. Now it's different. With the same strength and speed, Mo Yuan can easily block Lazily's attack, and at the same time can easily hit her. Lazily was defeated under Mo Yuan's attack. Mo Yuan appeared behind Lazily ghostly and threw out a kick hard. Lazily hurriedly raised her arm to block, and in a hurry, the whole person was kicked out. Looking at Lazily, who out upside down, Mo Yuan did not catch up, but put his hands in their shape of a calyx and placed them on his waist. Turtle Pike High Gong Wave. Mo Yuan did not leave his hand. The chi in his whole body condensed together, and a purple light mass appeared between his two palms. The pure white space is instantly rendered purple. Mo Yuan pushed with both hands, and a huge beam of light flew out of his hand, catching up with Lazily, who was kicked and ying. In the blink of an eye, Lazily's pupils shrank sharply. She smelled death. With the power now, hard connect words will die. Lazily no longer retained, used the energy of artificial humans, stopped sharply in the air, and faced the turtle faction Kaigong wave. Then, she raised her arm and swung it hard at the turtle sect Kaigong wave. I saw that the purple beam of light folded in the air and flew in another direction. After a while, a deafening explosion sounded from the direction where the turtle sent the Kaigong wave to Y, resounding throughout the space. Mo Yuan lifted the Realm King Fist and looked in the direction of the explosion. Suddenly, he felt a chill behind him. Carefully turn your head. I saw Lazily staring at herself unkindly. Stinky little ghost, are you trying to kill me? Sister, I said I didn't mean it. Do you believe it? The more Mo Yuan spoke, the weaker his heart became, and his voice became smaller and smaller. Believe what the little cutie said. My sister believes. Mo Yuan, if you don't grit your teeth, maybe I will believe it. Don't. Sister, I was wrong. Little cutie, sister didn't mean it. Do you believe it too? Lazily clenched her hands into STS against the temples on either side of Mo Yuan's head and rotated vigorously. Mask of Pain, equipped. If you like this audiobook, subscribe the channel for more videos like this and join my Patreon if you want to support me. Leave some comment and let me know if you guys like this story, or you have a web novel you like and want to hear its audiobook. I will be happy to create them for you. Please like, share, and leave a comment on the video.